Sharon Carr was the nice girl in school, initially described as polite and helpful by teachers. But something changed in her. Sharon began to show more aggression, also becoming more disruptive and attention-seeking. It had gotten so bad that one of her teachers had called social services, resulting in Sharon being put in foster care for a short time. She would often fantasize about death and violence when she wasn't in school. On June 7th, 1992, at only 12 years old, she finally saw her opportunity to live out her fantasies. Welcome to History's Biggest Villains. Sharon was born in Belize in 1979, one of 4 children. She moved with her mother Molly and her stepfather George Carr to England in 1986, settling in Camberley, Surrey. George, a soldier in the British Army, was a heavy drinker and would abuse his wife and children. Sharon's mother was an aggressive woman who frequently vented her anger at her innocent children. One night, George announced that he wanted to leave the family. He went to Molly for a last confrontation. In a fit of rage, she poured boiling hot oil on George's head. The couple were hospitalized with severe burns, and Sharon's mother was charged with assault. Their marriage came to an end, and the court ordered Molly to receive mental health therapy for 3 years. At school, Sharon was initially polite and helpful to teachers. Her friends said that she was a sociable girl who preferred the company of older boys. However, something changed in her, and she became much more aggressive. She was disruptive and attention-seeking, and she had problems with authority. She would often fantasize about death and violence. In 1990, her teacher at school contacted social services over her behavior. Sharon was briefly put into foster care, but she returned home after only a month. Sharon started to hang out with a group of kids who got her into stealing and using drugs. She also started taking an interest in weapons, carrying a knife in her school bag. She started smoking weed on a daily basis at the age of 11. Sharon also started practicing voodoo, introduced to her by her mother, who taught Sharon rituals that required sacrificing animals. Her mother claimed to have supernatural abilities. To gain authority and control, Sharon started reciting some prayers at certain times to harm people. Her dark thoughts continued to ruminate in her mind, and now she wanted to act out her morbid fantasy. On June 7th, 1992, 18-year-old Katie Ratliff was walking home from the Ragamuffins nightclub in Camberley. Katie had broken up with her boyfriend and she was devastated. Katie's friend encouraged her to go out, so she joined her at a nightclub. She was a student in cosmetology school studying to be a hairdresser. On the walk home, 12-year-old Sharon spotted Katie and rushed towards her, knife in hand. Katie was stabbed 32 times in her ribs and through her heart. Sharon even stabbed her in the vagina and anus. Some of Katie's jewelry was stolen. Sharon, along with other accomplices, took Katie's body and drove her to Farnborough before dumping her by a cemetery wall. Her body was found later that morning. The first thing the police noticed was the brutality of the murder. Some of the knife blows had gone straight through Katie's body. Her sexual organs were mutilated and her clothes were pulled up, but there was no sign of sexual assault. Due to the nature and severity of the injuries, police believed the attacker was a fully grown male. Over 500 men, including Katie's ex-boyfriend, were interviewed by the authorities. However, the real killer went unidentified and the case went cold. After Katie's murder, Sharon went back to school. 2 years to the day after Ratliff's murder, on June 7th, 1994, Carr attacked her classmate, 13-year-old Anne Marie Clifford, with a knife for no reason in the toilets of Collingwood College Comprehensive School. Clifford was stabbed in the back, puncturing her lung. The attack was only stopped when 5 students entered the toilets and intervened, probably saving Anne Marie's life. Clifford said that Carr was smiling and appeared happy while she was stabbing her. Sharon was immediately arrested and taken to an assessment center for psychological evaluation. Sharon started openly discussing Katie's murder over the phone with her loved ones. She also wrote about it in her diaries. Sharon developed a crush on a prison officer and started talking with him about what she had done to Katie. The officer alerted the police, who then seized Sharon's writings and drawings. Some of her diary passages said, "If only I could kill you again. I promise I would make you suffer more this time, you fucking slag. Your terrified screams turned me on. Killing is my business, and business is good. I was born to be a murderer. Killing, for me, is a mass turn-on. It just makes me so high that I never want to come down. Every night I see the devil in my dreams. Sometimes, even in my mirror, I realize it's just me." Yeah, this girl is psychotic. In her confession to the police, she said, "I brought the knife into her chest. She had her eyes closed. I repeatedly bring the knife near her because she is pleading with me. Although I don't want to hurt her, I must act violently towards her. I have to go past her grace, peace, and safety. When she died, I saw her face. I can hear her gasp, and I know she can feel her life slowly slipping away. She must have been struggling to breathe. Oh my lord, bro. She had also drawn pictures of the knife involved. She graphically described one particular injury and provided details that only the killer would have. She also knew that a bracelet was stolen from Ratcliffe, which police had not revealed. Carr helped the police film a reconstruction of the murder in which she acted out the murder, and when questioned about the attack, repeatedly laughed about the details. Police found that Carr had a long history of cruelty to animals, having once decapitated a dog with a shovel, and there were also rumors that she had cooked live hamsters. Sharon continued to brag about the murder even after being questioned by the police. Carr was charged with the murder of Ratcliffe in May 1996. On March 25, 1997, after a month-long trial at Winchester Crown Court, Carr was convicted of murder. The jury deliberated for 5 hours before reaching a guilty verdict, choosing to convict her of murder and not manslaughter. The conviction meant that Carr was officially Britain's youngest ever female murderer, having only been 12 at the time of the killing. Mary Bell was convicted at age 11 of killing 2 boys in 1968, but she was convicted of manslaughter, not murder. When Carr was sentenced, Mr. Justice Baker remarked, "What is clear is that you had a sexual motive for this killing, and it is apparent both from the brutal manner in which you mutilated her body and chilling entries in your diary, that killing, as you put it, turned you on. You are, in my view, an extremely dangerous young woman." Carr was smiling as she left the dock after the conviction. She received the minimum sentence of 14 years after her trial. In the media, she became known as the Devil's Daughter. Following her murder conviction, Carr was held in HM Prison Holloway. She was later transferred to Broadmoor Hospital in 1998. While in Broadmoor, she continued to assault staff and other residents and admitted to wanting to slit the throat of a fellow inmate. On occasions, she also claimed to believe that she was a lizard and tried to cut herself to attempt to find out whether she was still human. In 2001, while still in prison, she was allowed to marry Robbie Lane, a fellow inmate who was in prison for murder. He killed his mother, stabbing her repeatedly after he believed she favored his sister over him. He had even gouged her eyes out with a broom handle. Ironically, just before the wedding, the couple read newspaper articles about each other's crimes. Robbie called off the wedding, saying he was pretty disgusted by the sadistic murder carried out by his bride-to-be. The pot calling the kettle black. Wow. In 2004, it was reported that Carr's defense team were challenging her 14-year minimum sentence, as well as her conviction, with Carr wanting her murder conviction to be replaced with one of manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility. However, the appeals were dismissed. In 2007, Carr was moved again to the medium secure Orchard unit, but was sent to HM Prison Bronsford in 2015 as a restricted status prisoner, as she presented a risk to patients and staff. Her warrant stated that she no longer required treatment or that no effective treatment could be given. In December 2018, she was moved to HM Prison Low Newton, but was quickly moved back to Bronsfield after a violent incident with another inmate in August 2019. So she's not helping herself at all. In the same year, her application for her restricted status to be downgraded was denied. She appealed against this decision in 2020, but this was also denied on the grounds that she hadn't provided any significant evidence for a reduction in her risk. Category A prison supervisors at Bronsfield reported that Carr was still bringing up incidents of volatile relationships and was continuing to have paranoid thoughts. She had also said that she wanted to murder another prisoner. As of September 2022, Carr continues to be imprisoned despite the expiration of her minimum sentence. It was also reported in September of 2022 that Carr was to have another parole hearing to determine whether she would be released. I can't find any more information on her after this because other articles are 2 years old. I was looking for a long time, but it seems like this is someone that needs to stay in jail and needs to never come out. For you to have those type of thoughts at 12 years old, what is your home life like? She literally saw her mother pour hot oil over her stepfather's head. Killing you turns me on. She could see her life slipping away and then you stab another girl and you're smiling while you're stabbing her. Like, you need help, and you need to be far away from people when you get this help. I really appreciate all you guys who listen to this. Thank you to all the new people who are here, all the new subscribers, all the new viewers. I appreciate all of you. Definitely leave a like if you enjoy these videos. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button, turn on my post notifications if you haven't already. Thank you. I'm out. Peace.